Okay. Hey Kim, nice to have you
Hi.
on today. Thank you for letting me record this. And can you do a quick introduction for the people who are watching?
Sure
What
thing.
what did you do in the past and what are you doing now?
Well, my name is Kim Leneghan. I'm in Ohio, the United States, and I am a registered dietitian. I work as a clinical inpatient hospital dietitian, and I am branching out and I'm taking my skills online. So I just launched my new website, kimlenehan.com, and I am a you know diabetes guru. I help, teach women, professional women, how to prevent and how to manage their type 2 diabetes.
Perfect. Thank you, Kim. I was going to tell you go all out, go all for it. But I see you're already doing that.
I am. Well, that's because I have the most awesome professional looking website.
Lovely. Let's get to that. I think we first started working a couple of months ago. Uh,
Yes. I tried to look up the exact date and I couldn't find it, but it seems like forever, but it was just probably 2 months ago, I think.
yeah, something like 2 months ago. I remember it was summer vacations for my son. So, can you share how did you get to know about me? Where did you hear about me first?
Okay, well, I first started, I maybe stalking you um, under the yeah, under the B School group, and every time you would post something, I would say to myself like, oh my goodness, like this woman has gotten into my head. And so I started, really following you, and I truly thought, and I still truly think, like, I got to get in now before she ups her prices so high that I can afford to work with her. And so you had a free webinar, and I listened in live, which is something very rare for me to actually listen to them live. And there's a 9.5 hour time change between us.
Yes.
So I don't really work my best at the evening time, but I have right now to work with you.
But
And yeah, it was an evening webinar. And I even said right up front, oh, I don't think I'm going to make it, but I stayed up and like laid on my couch and listened to this webinar. And you had this great offering at the end. And I just took the plunge with really no business idea in mind, a vision, like somewhat of an idea in my head for that didn't come in and stay for 1 or 2 weeks and fleeted off like many of my other visions. But this one stayed with me for, I don't know, 6 weeks or however long it was. And I thought, you know what, if I don't do this now, I'm never going to do that. This person's keeps coming up in my feed for a reason. And I have this opportunity. I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I did.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure working with you these last few months. I mean, I am so amazed by the way you have transformed. I mean, I work with so many clients, but yet each client is so special to me. I just love being part of your journey and seeing you change from, a first conversation, all those doubts, all those questions, to where you are today. I mean, you got on this call and your intro was like, I've got this.
Yeah.
So, I remember you first signed up for my strategy sessions.
Yeah.
Can you share a bit more about what were the thoughts in your head about your business? What were you thinking about your business and how and when you wanted to get things done? I remember you gave me a 5-year time frame, right? So
Yes.
what was it about when we got started? And at the end of a strategy session, how did you feel? What did you have? How did your vision?
All right. So at the beginning of the strategy session, I was very wishy-washy. I probably already had a lot of preconceived ideas in my head on how I was probably going to talk myself out of it, to be honest with you. And so I think, I think the main takeaway from my strategy session with you was I had all these flittering ideas and this timeline that was just grossly pathetic. I was like, oh, I have this vision in 4 years out. And you were like, no, that's not going to work. And you were so black and white about like so many particular things that I needed to hear. You're like, nope, you're not going to do that. Nope, that's not your ICA. Nope, that's not going to work. But at the same time, you were also saying, yes, you have a great idea. So it was enough of a push to say, okay, you have this great idea, but we need to alter it in the way that you can speak to an online community. You can have this powerful business and reach who you need to, but you are talking to the wrong people. So that really started the momentum, even though it was like, I still have no idea how I'm going to do this. But that was really great.
Okay, just a minute. Just hang on a minute. Yes, we're back.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I think it was, somebody other than my family, and somebody that was actually talking to me, not just in a text or an email. That's yes, and coming from somebody else who does this for a living, who walks other people through this process, I truly felt if you thought that I had a dummy idea, you would have just said, okay, well, you just go for that and good luck. and you didn't. And I think that was the big takeaway that personally I needed and decided to push forward.
Yeah, I remember when we started talking, your ICU was an elderly woman, a bit like your grandma.
Yep.
Like someone you mentioned in your neighborhood. And our conversation went like, but do you think she'll really get online? How many of such women do you think will get online, or how many of them will have their kids get online and push them for this, right?
Yeah.
So the part of it that I didn't think would work out, I said so clearly. The part of it that I think will work out, I said that. So
right.
Now that you've worked with me, I don't mince my words, right?
Right. No.
Okay. So what did you walk away with at the end of the strategy session? How did you feel about your business idea and the possibility of making it happen?
I definitely felt energized because I never had somebody say like, you can be up and running and making X amount of money if you follow the right steps and have the digital course that I want, which, within 6 months. I mean, that blew my mind. I was like, whoa, like I can do this before at the end of the year. So that was a huge takeaway, that it wasn't something that I would have to work with. And the thing is that, given that I have such a young family, I mean, a 9-month-old, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old, and now I'm working, that you knew that my time to commit to this was very limited.
Exactly.
And you were still able to say like, no, you can do this. And I'm going to teach you what the right steps are, when to do it.
Exactly. So it's, women often think that their dream is far off, that it's unachievable. But really, once you set your mind to it, once you're able to prioritize, once you're able to prioritize and do exactly the right things, you can get there. You can get there much sooner than you ever thought possible. It's just that you have to believe it is possible. And of course, don't go chasing every shiny object. Actually focus and do the right stuff.
Yes, which is exactly what I had. And I remember telling you, because you said, where can I help you the most? And I told you, keep me focused. And even after that, I was like, but what about this? And you're like, no. You're going to work on this. This is what we're talking about. This is what works. People aren't going to understand that yet. You can change when you want to. We're focusing on this. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yes. So I remember this was a strategy intensive. We had about, I believe we had one pre-session, and then a 2-hour intensive. And then we decided to get to work on your website.
Mhm.
So that was again a big, what do you say, a big decision for you. Who do you choose for your website, right? So why did
Yeah.
you decide to continue with us for your website?
To me, it just seemed like a no-brainer. One, you already knew what I was trying to say. So you already knew what kind of personality you were dealing with. And you were able to handle me and the quirkiness of my personality and my absolutely zero like tech knowledge so easily that yeah, it really was. It was a no-brainer that if I was going to work with you, and again, uh, there is such value in your services. You know, I'm working. You know, my one coach that I have and that I got 2 years ago. You know, she's done like e-courses and digital stuff, and then so she did her website, and now she's working with a business coach. And the stuff that she was telling me that her business coach is doing, and I'm like, well, that's what my website designer is doing. I mean, you're two people in one, which is crazy. And so I'm realizing that now, kind of watching everybody else, out there in the online community and asking questions. I'm like, well, geez, you should have just used Risha because she does that. But to me, you're just an awesome value. And you get two people at once. So it was absolutely no brainer.
So I'm just going to interject with one thing. Please stop downplaying yourself. I mean, you were a dream client. You were fun to work with. Yeah, so you didn't know the tech part, that's okay. But you had a lot of stuff going for you. You were intuitively doing a lot of things right. It's just that with, all the million ideas in your head, on the internet, and from family and everyone else, you were just getting muddled up. But you've got this going for you. You just have to stay focused, okay?
Yeah,
So,
I do.
Even on your website, I've seen so many other clients, they fumble, they stumble, they don't know what to say, they will go back and forth on choosing one image and things like that. But you were a dream to work with, and I really appreciate that you stayed up late night thinking with us every single day. So during that 1 week, you stayed up every single night for that half an hour call. That was so amazing. And like you said, especially with 3 kids, one who's just 9 months old and a day job, man, amazing. I really, really love how your website has turned out. What was the reaction? What was your reaction to it the first day you saw your homepage, the first pages that we showed you? What was your reaction there?
I had like the biggest reaction just to like my coming soon page. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is legit. Look at how pretty this looks. I mean, it was hysterical. I was going around with my phone like sideways, like look at this. This is me. I mean, I was in the lunch line at work, being like, look at it's coming soon. Look at me, I'm still prepping. I'm chopping vegetables. I'm still prepping. And the response that I got from my Facebook community, which is just, friends and family, that was just really fun. So when I started seeing each page day after day, and that's when I was actually telling somebody today that it was awesome having this 9.5-hour time change, because we would have our call, I would do a little bit of work, and then I would go to sleep. And then when I woke up in the morning, it was just like, this is what I worked on. This is your new page. And I was like, oh. It was like Christmas every morning. It was like a little present, a little gift every morning when I woke up, to make it worth getting maybe 5 hours of sleep some nights, that I had this little present. So it was actually really cool.
Thank you. I'm glad you loved it so much. But I want to hear, what were the reactions you got from your friends and family? And we spoke about this the other day, but about them hearing that you're branching out on your own. Okay, I think the video. Yeah, you were back. Go ahead.
Yeah, the reaction. I mean, a lot of people think that I've like already like left my job, and I was like, no, I haven't left my job yet. Play it safe. But no, I mean, there's so many people that are like, wow, like you are going to be a celebrity. Like I'm going to be like, I know her. And, even my office mate, she was telling her husband, like, I know this girl, like, this is crazy. Like, that's my office mate. They just think it's so over the top professional. And they just, so many people say, I can't wait. I loved to be able to watch you. I can't wait to watch where you end up, because it's so phenomenal. And, even, this intern that I precepted, during the fall, I texted him today and I said, I want you to take a look at this. And because before we even started working, I was like, I have this idea. And so I was telling this intern, about this idea. And so when I texted him today, he was just like, he's like, you're doing it. He's like, I am so impressed. He's like, you're putting in the hard work and you're making it happen. And that's just awesome to inspire somebody else.
Perfect.
So, because, and that's what I'm doing. So it's awesome.
So I remember when we started, and before the strategy intensive, I had asked you to write down a couple of sample packages, and then during the intensive, I, kind of forced you to up your prices.
Yes.
You did that again when we moved those packages onto your website, right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about it? You were like, I can't charge so much. Really, will people pay me that? How do you feel about that now? About your packages, about your services, about making it all happen?
Oh, I think my two smaller packages, which is my Diabetes 101 and my concierge package, are priced really well. My platinum package, I honestly think it's underpriced right now, and definitely once I get two people in that package, it's going to get doubled.
Yes.
And so I, plan on doing that. And I think they're very well priced. And because my site is so well geared towards those people at that price point, I have no problem saying this is what I charge. And I already snipped somebody in the butt this morning that said, hey, can I email you and bend your ear? And I was just like, hey, this is my price. Thank you very much. Gave them a little free tip on how to handle something, and, moved along, and did not feel any the worse for doing it. I'm going to keep that space open for somebody that realizes my value.
That's a big step. You've come a long way.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, because I was like, I can't charge that much.
Yeah. But will anyone pay me that much? Will anyone pay me at all to coming to the stage where you are so confidently able to say, you know what, these are my rates and pay?
Yeah, exactly.
And what do you feel about that 5-year goal that you had, where you wanted your online business up and running in 5 years? Do you think it will actually take you to get there now with the strategy, with the website?
You know what? I think it's going to take me less than 2. And be surprised. I mean, if I can take the course and even expand my vision beyond my initial vision, I wouldn't be surprised if I can get there in 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, I would say by end of the year, you will have your online, you continue on this momentum, you will have your course ready and out by end of the year. And you know what, that December timeframe, the holidays are going to be when people are binge eating and wanting to control their stuff, control their diabetes and their blood sugar. So I see that as a major time for you. And if you have your course ready by then, you know what, that goal that you told me for 5 years, I think you can do it in 1 year.
Yeah, I do too.
And keep doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was about all the questions I wanted to ask you. Anything else would you like to share with the people who are watching?
Yes, I do. One of the things that we had talked about that was making the process so smoothly, I think for the both of us, was that you gave me a lot of recommendations in the beginning. You gave a lot of stuff in the workbook to fill out, which initially was like, I already answered these questions. Why do I have to do them again? But if you take the time and do the questions and you follow the recommendations that you give, especially looking at the branding colors that you want to go, working with the photographer, telling them exactly what you need, which is exactly what you told me what I need. I told the photographer, and I did my homework on that end. And I truly think you said it made it easier on your part. It then made it easier on my part, because then I don't think there was that, well, do you want A or B? Do you want this or that? Because it all fit seamlessly the first time that we didn't have to give all those choices.
Exactly.
So I would highly recommend somebody that plans on working with you to follow your recommendations, do the homework, take a lot of time. And I literally went with a list to the photographer with 12 different shots that I wanted, because I wanted to tell a story. And I actually just got the most awesome feedback from the photographer who I shared with the site today. And she wants to put the website up on her website because she's blown away by it.
I will take her name from you. And if anything else, if I have any other clients there, I will recommend them to her. Because you know what? Sometimes people come to me for their websites or the business strategy when it's already half-baked and they're not open to other ideas. And then what happens is we get stuck. We get stuck with photos that don't quite work on the web, photos that don't quite convey that story that they want to. In your case, since we had the strategy sessions earlier on, right, and you were clear about who you are really targeting and what kind of story you want to tell them, I was able to tell you, hey, these are the kind of shots you have to get. A couple of professional ones, a couple of fun ones, this kind of, we covered all of that in our strategy sessions, right? And so when you were able, and you listened, that's a big thing. A lot of people don't listen. You were able to go and have just the right stuff. You were able to go out and get just the right stuff, which not just made our work easier, so much easier. We didn't have to wrangle with the graphics and struggle with it, but they tell your story so well. They resonate with your audience, the busy professional woman. They resonate with her so well. And hey, Kim, for those who are watching, you know what? We didn't mention your website. Can you just spell out your website and tell them how to get in touch with you in case they have diabetes or they know someone who does?
Yes. So if you have diabetes, you know somebody that has diabetes, or you want to prevent from getting diabetes because your family history is so strong, so you go to Kim Leneghan, KIMLENEGHAN.com, and you'll see me.
And I will put that link in the text below this video as well, so you can reach out to her easily. Trust me, though Kim is just getting started with her online stuff, she really knows her stuff. And if you need any help, any kind of help related to diabetes, you should definitely reach out to her. Okay?
Yes.
Trust me, she is really good at what she does. She keeps underplaying herself, but she knows her shit. Reach out to her.
Yeah, I know my stuff.
Okay, everyone. So thank you so much for being on this call, Kim. And thank you, everyone, for watching. See you next time. See you on the next such call. Bye-bye.